People are constantly striving for better health personally, globally, and environmentally. With an ever-changing flow of knowledge, the possibilities and resources we have to work with today are extraordinary. Millions of minds are collaborating to create new world of inventions and break through the barrier of what was into the world of what can be. With self-driving cars and new vaccines, each day the world is changing, moving forward. It is our time to fuel the train of creation and to help keep it moving. Each person doesn't need to do a lot, just the best they can. It can be as simple as taking a moment each day to look around you and compost an apple core, or try a new solar compacting garbage. Helping the environment is one of the strongest efforts in society today. Plastic. Plastic is everywhere. It's on our streets, in our oceans, even in the food we eat. The plastic we produce each year, lined up end to end, will stretch halfway to the moon. That much plastic could wrap all the way around the Earth 4 times. So what are we doing about it? Carrying reusable water bottles, buying in bulk, recycling? These are all options that not enough people take advantage of. How often do you think about what happens to the plastic you use?
I don't like plastic bags, so I don't think about it on a day-to-day basis, but I did think about it for years ago.
So I think about it a lot. I compost and I, obviously not plastic, but I recycle plastic. So it's a part of my thought process.
I have to say I don't think about it as much as I ought to. You know, I'm aware of it, I know where it goes, I feel horribly about it, but it's such a part of our culture that it's easy just to kind of lose sight of it.
Most people throw away plastic mindlessly, with little regard to where it will end up. But plastic, at the mercy of the elements, will flood our oceans, lakes and rivers, creating toxic environments. It can suffocate our forests, kill our animals and pollute the air we breathe. It's not possible to control the spread of plastic once it's been disposed, but we now have a way to stop the problem before it's begun. An alternative to landfills and melters is an organic combat machine, plastic-eating mushrooms. These mushrooms, Pestalopiasoso microspora, have been discovered to consume only plastic. An Austrian design team partnered with the Yale researchers found a way to combine this fungus with nutrient-rich packed agar to form round plastic destroying pods. First, plastic is exposed to the UV light and broken down. Then it is placed inside the pods of a jello-like material called agar. At this point, the fungus begins to grow over the agar and plastic. After about 2 weeks, the plastic is gone, leaving behind an edible, non-toxic mushroom in its place. Right now, the food we eat increases the amount of plastic in the world. The plastic packaging, plastic grocery bags, and even plastic shopping carts. We depend on plastic for food. With these mushrooms, we can create a chain effect. Plastic waste is broken down and food is created. We solve one problem while creating something helpful as a result. During our mission to improve the condition of our planet, we must also think of ourselves. How are we improving our health as well as the environment? One of the biggest factors that affects our lives is the food we eat. Think about the last time you ate something you grew yourself. Take a mango, for example. Half of all the mango production happens in India, because it's one of the only places in the world with the proper climate. When you buy mango in the grocery store, you probably don't think about where it came from. You only think about what it feels like, whether it's ripe or not, what it's going to taste like when you eat it. Things seemingly out of our control. What makes these characteristics of a mango is the climate it grows in. Everything from the soil type to the humidity to the environment of the CO2 in the air will affect the fruit. Now imagine being able to change each of these things to create the perfect plant. With a food computer, you can. Essentially an environment in a box. The food computer allows you to manipulate the climate to fit the needs of any plant. All you have to do is program it with the right recipe. Recipes are written in code and tell the computer to change its settings to create the ideal environment. People have conducted experiments to find the perfect recipe, can publish them online in a public database. Take a look at the parts of the computer.
You grow the plants here, you have water down there. Here, this is a water temperature indicator. This is a pH indicator. Here we have the nutrients. The whole software works over there. nutrient solution, pH. We have potassium, sodium. We have CO2 sensor, temperature sensor for the air. This thing maintains the temperature the same.
One of the key features of the food computers are the two cameras located inside the growing chamber. These are filming 24/7 and can be viewed by anyone who has the computer IP address. With this computer, you can recreate an environment anywhere in the world.
The idea is like, what if you make somebody's climate available to somebody else, artificially, and then they can use that climate to produce whatever they want.
There are countless applications for food computers, plans to be launched into outer space, carried into submarines during ocean expeditions, and flown to struggling communities around the world. Having the ability to grow any small plant opens up a galaxy of possibilities. Right now, astronauts survive almost solely off heavily packaged, freeze-dried meals, which manage to keep space explorers healthy during their travels, but have no element of freshness and are far from real food. No harvested produce can be brought because of its quickness to rot. While it is not possible to bring fruits and vegetables grown in farms on Earth, what is possible is to bring that whole farm. With their controlled environment and low use of resources, food computers are the ideal space farm. With a food computer stationed inside a spaceship, the right programmed recipes, astronauts can have access to the food they need and want to last them a lifetime. With the same limitations aboard submarines, food computers can be brought on and used during ocean expeditions. Food computers are not only being used in space, they are currently being used on our own planet. In eastern Jordan, the task has begun. Armed with successful food recipes, MIT is working with the Azraq refugees to grow fresh food and computer-grown produce. They are barely getting enough of the nutrients they need to survive as it is. The self-created climates are able to grow leafy green, which Jordan's hot desert climate cannot support naturally. These food computers are hoping to temporarily feed thousands of refugees. Plants can be tricked into growing differently with environmental changes. For instance, if a scientist were to lower the temperature of the food computer, the plant would think it was winter and produce more of the chemicals it takes to protect itself from low temperatures. These chemicals can be harvested at a greater net weight per plant and used. The controls of the food computers allow scientists to use with the tapping of a few keys and are an improved method for growing medicinal plants. For example, tobacco plants. After the plant's leaves were discovered as breeding grounds for Ebola antibodies, Caleb Harper was working with his team to grow and harvest the plants as efficiently with the highest percentage of antibodies as possible. As Caleb Harper said, one food computer is growing greens and one the Ebola vaccine. However, you can't grow a mango tree in one of these 3x4x5 food computers. Fortunately, the team at MIT have come up with a solution to this. Soon, food computers the size of shipping containers, like the ones you see here, will become available for all of these applications. Computers this size will be able to feed far more people and could be placed in public buildings. Imagine school lunches with natural ingredients, grown and prepared on campus, requiring little besides power and internet. After the initial setup, food computers can be placed in homes and on a large scale, schools, grocery stores, and community centers. As self-contained growing area, food computers are 24/7, 365 days, local food source. These are only two of the countless inventions being worked on every day to make the world a better place. Newly invented food computers and newly discovered plastic-consuming mushrooms are concepts still being developed, and there is so much potential for each of them. The world is constantly striving to solve problems and become a better place, but we can't do that without your help. Next time you buy food or drink from a plastic water bottle, consider the effects on yourself and your planet. Be mindful of your actions and take small steps to make a bigger difference.